the place that I'm in now, you would not have been able to convince my 15-year-old self that that was a possibility. I would have flatly rejected you. So I just got home from the gym this morning, and I wanted to share a story with you from this morning that was really hit home for me. So do not let anyone tell you what you can and can't do. Boundaries are for pushing, limits are for testing. So the example from this morning is I wanted to do a class that started this morning, and I was told that it was full. I checked last night, it was full. I came this morning anyway to see if anyone didn't turn up. I was told it was full. We're in the small room upstairs. There's only room for 8 people. You know, bad luck. You can stand outside and wait if you want, but you know, you can't. It's already full. So I poked my head in. Firstly, it wasn't upstairs, it was downstairs, so reception had no idea what they were talking about. And then I poked my head in and there were already 8 people standing around the class. So I thought, okay, never mind. I pushed my luck. I'll just go do something else. Use the gym in some other way. And then, fortunately, I thought, should I ask? But then for some stupid reason, I decided not to ask. I decided to accept my lot in life without testing to see if it was actually accurate or not. So fortunately, one of the other women in the class ran after me, poked her head out the door and said, were you waiting for this class? You can just ask the instructor. He'll probably say it's okay for you to join. So I did. I went and asked, and he said, yeah, it's fine. And it turned out there were 12 people in the class, not 8 at the end. So imagine if I just accepted that someone told me that I couldn't do it. All I needed to do was test that boundary and insist that I was actually responding to the reality. And I notice a lot of people do this, especially with friendships, and especially with listening to what other people say and what other people promise. I need to make sure that people do what they say, and if they tell me I can't do something and then I just do it anyway, chances are that they were wrong. And if they were right, then later on I would find out the reason that I couldn't do it in the first place. So yeah, so that's why, boundaries are for pushing, limits are for testing. So don't let anyone else tell you what you can and can't do. Bye. And just to follow up while I'm here, you get a lot of people saying things like, you can accomplish anything, you have no limits. And that's interesting because it's not true, but it might as well be true, because you don't know what is impossible. You do have some limits. Some things you will not be able to do. You probably, in your lifetime, will not be able to jump from here to Mars. You never know. You can prove me wrong. I dare you to prove me wrong, but I think that's likely that you won't be able to do that. But the point is that you have no idea where your limits are until you test them. So you might as well act as if you don't know where the limits are so that you find them. And a good example of this is a newborn baby, right? They are a useless lump of flesh for quite a while. And unless you had seen other adults and you knew that there was a good chance that they're going to grow up and get bigger and get stronger and learn to walk and learn to talk and read and write and drive cars and fly planes and jump to Mars and all of these other things that you think are impossible for them to do, you have no idea. And looking at the present state, all of those things seem impossible because we can't join the dots of what's going to happen from this useless lump of flesh of a newborn baby to this incredible, fully mature adult accomplishing all these incredible things and changing the world. So this is a hopeful message for everyone who's struggling with something at the moment. Things will be different in the future. You will improve. And also for parents, if you're looking at your child who is struggling with a lot of things, you have no idea what their potential is. And just like when I look back over 5 or 10 years, there's some things that I've accomplished now that there's absolutely no way you would have convinced me were even possible 5 or 10 years ago. And I hear this from a lot of people when they share their story. They think the place that I'm in now, you would not have been able to convince my 15-year-old self that that was a possibility. I would have flatly rejected you. So the same is true when we're looking at other people. We have no idea how much they can accomplish, so we might as well test the limits and assume that we don't know what our limits are. So anyway, enough ranting from me. Thanks. Bye.